Hey guys, CJ here and welcome back to another all-new Hybrid News Now. And we've got lots of stuff to talk about today, from a tonal shift in the wings for Justice League, brand new big plans for Booster Gold in the DCEU, but most importantly, let's talk about the biggest piece of news of all, a brand new official still from Wonder Woman. This comes to us straight from Entertainment Weekly and not only shows off Gal Gadot's Diana, but also gives us a look at the island of Themyscira, her mother, and her two aunts. And this is big because it gives us our first ever look at the other key Amazonians that are going to be in this movie, like her mother Hippolyta, played by Connie Nielsen, or General Antiope, played by Robin Wright, or her lieutenant Menalippe, who's going to be played by Lisa Levin-Kongsley. And these three are so key because these are the women that raised her, the first child on Themyscira, in a long time. And while her mother Hippolyta wants to shield her from the world, her trainer and teacher, General Antiope, wants to prepare her for it. The other interesting thing here, to me at least, is that when Robin Wright was first announced for this film, a lot of people thought she was going to be playing Cersei, who still may or may not be the villain. But from her description in this Entertainment Weekly article, it doesn't sound like Antiope is going to be the villain at all, but whether she becomes a traitor and a villain later on, we'll just have to wait until the movie to find out. Then again, maybe I'm just chalking up a Robin Wright character to be a villainess because I've been binging House of Cards recently. Anyway, tell me your thoughts on the picture in the comment section below, and I highly recommend you check the article out for yourself. There's a lot more on those three characters, their relationship to Diana, as well as a little bit about where they're shooting to make Themyscira look as exotic as possible. In our next story, kind of a follow-up to the past couple days worth of drama about Batman v Superman and the DCEU. Some fans, and most notably critics, were a little deterred by the movie's dark tone. Well, changes may be coming if a new quote from Deborah and Zack Snyder is any indication. In an interview with IGN, Zack Snyder, and producer Charles Roven talked a little bit about how Batman v Superman leads into the Justice League, and more importantly, what Justice League might look like. But let's take a look at her quote first. Justice League is a little bit lighter, because some of these characters you have, Flash tends to be a little bit more comedic, I'd say. Zack later added on to that, saying, one of the things that lightens it is having Flash, or having characters that are more optimistic. BVS is, in particular, two characters that are at a crisis of conscience that sort of draws them together. So it certainly seems that the addition of characters like the Flash, and maybe even Cyborg, will be the catalyst that sort of pushes the tone of the movie into a little bit lighter territory. But of course, it'd be nice to see, say, Superman get to that point as well. So let me know in the comment section down below which Justice League character you think is actually going to be the most lighthearted, and which one you're most excited for it down in the comment section below. And in our last story, a little bit about Booster Gold and his potential future in the DCEU. It was rumored a couple of months back that big plans were in motion for both he and Blue Beetle, but whether that was going to involve one of the film universes or one of the TV universes eluded us at that point. And while we still don't know anything to that end, Jeff Johns has taken to comicbook.com to break his silence on the character to just tease us a little bit more. You'll see Booster Gold very soon, and there's actually a lot of plans for Booster Gold, one of my favorite characters. But yeah, Booster Gold fans, you'll definitely be happy with what we've got coming up in the years ahead. Comicbook.com themselves speculate that when Johns talks about seeing him very soon, that means that he'll probably show up in the comics very shortly, but when they talk about bigger plans ahead, that may mean that they're trying to work something out for him to show up in potentially a film, or, like I said, one of the TV shows later down the line. And honestly, I think that's a pretty good guess, and one that I'm happy to kind of put my name behind and support. But if I had to put money on it, I'd say we'll likely see him in Legends of Tomorrow before we see him on anything else. But where do you guys want Booster to show up? Let me know in the comments down below. And that brings us to the end of another Hybrid News Now. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to smash that freaking like if you liked what you saw. Subscribe for more great content every single day. And consider supporting us on Patreon for some cool exclusive goodies. Signing off, this is CJ, and I'll see you tomorrow.